That's the team that plays to win for you and me.
Welcome back, Shimboners. Another day, another pod, Chief. We're going back-to-back days because night 2 of the draft is completed. 2 new Shimboners have been introduced. And, of course, we look to tomorrow's big clash at Icon Park, 3:05 in the sweltering heat as the girls look to gain that place in the 2024 Grand Final. Very exciting, and hopefully you can contribute some good analysis and we can preview what will be a very interesting clash tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, well, thanks for having me again, Baz. Very pumped to get 2 new Shimboners, and I'd like to, no doubt you watched it like I did. Hold the press at 7 o'clock. I'm in front of the telly again to watch the draft part 2. And, of course, Whitlock, Jack, got picked up. And his brother stole the show, wearing the suit. What was under the suit?
Oh, I knew you'd love that. And there was a few comments on...
Well, tell people who didn't watch it.
On social media that we're referring that you'd be up and about because he was wearing the Guernsey. He'd been to his graduation, I think it was.
And under the suit was the jumper.
Oh, yeah.
And he pulled it up and was proud and calmed the kangas.
Yeah, and his brother got his little moment. Nah, stuff ya. Get the kangas back on the... We hate Port anyway, so...
Yeah, exactly. It was fantastic. And reminded me a bit of the GOAT, Josh Goda. He had his same thing. He had the graduation. He wore the North scarf to the graduation.
Yeah, and then later... Well, I'll get to that when we get to our last draft pick because I've got a story for you there. But
okay.
So
up and about.
We were unable to trade back in. We were sort of thinking on yesterday's pod, will we be able to offer that future 2 to get back in? That didn't happen. I still think West Coast have got an absolute steal there with Job Shanahan at pick 30.
Yes.
But we'll track that as the years go on. Our first pick not till pick 57, where we drafted Luke Urquhart. Famous North Melbourne surname,
yes,
Chief.
Very
Urquhart.
famous. Gavin Urquhart for those playing at home. Half-back flanker running user type.
He was. And so we got him out of East Fremantle, which is the same club that we got the big my man, the big Zoo, Cam Zerhaas from there. And he's a water polo player as well.
Yes, and he another one. They're just all pumped to be coming to the club, aren't they? He was very excited.
And do you know what? As soon as I saw him,
I
straight away thought this bloke fits the bill for Bazza Swaggerman.
Yes, he the blonde hair and the big smile. He's up and about, wasn't he?
But he just seems, he seems very keen to learn. And I mean, it's easy just to say off a couple of minute video, but it seems Clarko's really keen to get him as well because he appears as someone who will just take any role and give it their absolute all. And that's the sort of player we want. The question I have.
Yes.
Right. AFL.com lists him as 184 centimetres.
Right.
We've listed him at 185.
Who? North.
As in North.
Yep.
And the waffle, which he did play waffle, which is a good sign.
Okay, not the waffle we carry on with at the end of the pod.
No.
The WAFL.
Yes. He was listed as 190 centimetres. So
good size.
We can't really... I don't have the answer at the present time, but he's a big body mid.
Yeah, he looked ready to go physically, didn't he? And he was pumped to be coming. Reminded me of Hardiman last year, another WA boy who was pumped to be coming to North.
And we are. I'll tell you what, the boys will be keen with this WA deal because about half our team's from WA now. Yep. They get to spend the bye week at home and
and then 2 home games at home. So be loving it. Have a nice little homecoming. Yeah, mid-year homecoming for him.
Watching some of his highlights, the first person I sort of thought of, which I don't know whether it's a good thing or not, but his contested ability reminded me a bit of Kyron Hayden. Maybe that's because he was a WA boy as well.
Yes.
And obviously Ronnie had the ability to get the ball and use his body, but it was when he got it that let him down.
Wasn't a great user of the ball, but there was no issue with him putting his body on the line to get the ball.
But no, very happy, and from listening to him, North were the only team massively keen on him, so we've seen something there. And I also read today that our recruiters have been keen on him for a long time. So they've identified a need, and I know a lot of fans are still upset, though, because we've drafted another mid.
Yeah, defensive mid. So he'll play anywhere, though, I think. And I think he'll play, to be fair, he's going to play VFL to start with. But, I don't mind it. I just like this excitement and genuine excitement. And going back to young Whitlock. You grab your jumper. You're right up there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Genuine excitement to be at the club. And that's what we want. I don't want people just coming to play AFL and get a nice paycheck. I want people to put their body and their ability on the line week after week for the jumper, and that's what I love.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you there. And we'll move on to our next selection, pick 67. We called this for months. We knew it was going to happen, but officially River Stevens is a Shimboner, following on from Dad Anthony to wear the blue and white stripes next year. How exciting was that?
Well, just rinse and repeat what I just said about playing for the jumper with Stevens, or just in his blood. If not, you're moving out of home, son. But I've got no issues with him putting his body on the line and doing all the right things and getting the absolute best out of himself. Much like Dad's best friend's son, Jacko Archer.
Yeah. And just adds to the legacy now. I think we've got 6 father-sons on the list.
Yes, and Steve O Senior, one of the all-time greats, absolute all-time greats.
And
former captain, best and fairest All-Australian, premiership player. Not much more he could have done.
No, and he'll be instilling his work ethic in River, you reckon? And it was good to see them both feature on the broadcast.
Yep, and the old man still got the cheeky smile he always had. Always play with a smile, Steve O Senior. But he was OG nose in the trough type operator.
He was. He
which
absolutely
you
was.
love. We both love, but you termed.
But yeah, he got carried into his graduation on his mate's shoulders, I think, and I'm fairly certain, I'll have to watch it again because I only quickly glimpsed through it today, but I think he had, under the suit, also had the Shinboner Guernsey on. If not, it was a scarf, but he definitely had something.
Fantastic.
And then today, the rookie draft, not much to speak about. Big Tobias is back, that's about it, but we knew that was going to happen.
Yes.
Pick 1, Toby Pink, who was just delisted and then picked up as a rookie.
Yep.
So, yeah, can't really complain. We knew River was going to be taken. We couldn't trade up to get another tall that we obviously liked. There were still plenty of talls left, but they've made the decision to draft a bigger bodied midfielder.
Yes, and no first round pick next year, as we discussed the last pod, but we've got 2 seconds to play with.
Yeah, so
and the rest of our draft hand as well, 3rds and 4ths.
Yeah. Right, well, let's crack in. Have you got anything else for the men's before we crack into some AFLW preview?
Yeah, I just think we've hit the mark with the draft. We've got Foss, who's just going to be an elite midfielder and can play numerous midfield roles, even out to the wing, which I'm probably pushing for the hardest. And key position swingman, Whitlock. Fantastic. And the other 2, I think we're a better team than we were at the end of the year now.
Yeah,
and with all the trades, obviously, as well. So I think we're a lot better than 2024. So things are looking good for 25.
Well, I hope so. And I enjoy your level of optimism that you're bringing. And no doubt that'll carry through the pre-season and until round 1.
Yes. We'll get all the training reports that everyone's bigger. PBs, PC will be lifting the roof of headquarters there at Shimboner Land. He'll be erecting the flag on his own, just one arm lift.
Yeah, I like it.
The massive flag up onto the roof.
Still haven't heard from the club yet, so North, we've given you the keys.
Yes, look, it's our idea. We'll let you run with it. You can claim it as your own if you like.
Yeah.
But we just want to see it. Please promote the club.
Right, speaking of promoting the club, good segue because the girls are doing a great job of that. And tomorrow afternoon, as I mentioned off the top, big preliminary final clash against the Power, who were rank outsiders in their semi-final against Hawthorn, and particularly at three-quarter time, down 20-odd points, came back and got the win. And the biggest news is our captain has returned, Emma Carney, back into the side for Eliza Shannon. What were your thoughts on that? Was that the likely omission for you?
Yes. I think they'll just run with the team that has got them there, and obviously you're bringing an all-time great straight back in. I did note on the website it said she trained with the backs and with the midfielders. So whether she has a little run through the midfield, but I think she'll be basically back to half-back. Craven will probably come out of that role and go up to a wing.
Yep. I think you're bang on. So the last time we met Port Adelaide, we have played them this season. We won 42-6, but it's worth noting that the second half was a write-off because that was the worst conditions I've probably seen.
Yes.
And that was
5 o'clock Friday.
Put back to us by a few of the girls who have come on the pod saying that there was the worst conditions they've played in. So
Yes. And we were well up at half time when the conditions were better.
yeah, I don't think Port had scored
No.
at half time.
Yeah, so we're looking for more of that. We should win by at least 6 goals, all things being equal, but they're not quite equal. Well, both teams have to play in it, but it'll be sweltering heat, apparently. And I've just come back from playing golf. Done no prep for this pod, and
As usual.
it was about, no, not as usual, but yeah, more often than not. But it was 27 or 28 here in Tassie, and it was sweltering playing golf. So I don't know how the poor girls go, but they are, a lot younger than me and a hell of a lot fitter.
Yeah,
So,
well, no, I think it's just another example of the AFL giving zero, what's, just in case little Jimmy's, I'll keep it PG, but they give zero care about the AFLW. Oh, they could easily move it to Friday night.
it should be tonight at 7 o'clock or 7:30. Just get the heat out of the day.
Exactly. Even making it a bang-bang double header. Push it back to a 5 o'clock start or something. They've had ample time. We finished first on the ladder. Play Friday night. It's not equal in the men's competition. The prelims aren't played on the same day there.
No, very rarely. They used to be back 10, 15, 20 years ago, but not anymore. It's always night to maximise the television.
Yeah, and so it's going to make zero difference. Both teams will get a minimum 7-day break. So I just think it's a trick missed and just another example of the AFL not prioritising the safety of the AFLW players.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an advantage to the teams that play in Brisbane because they won't be playing in they'll have a similar break and they won't have the 35-degree sweltering heat. What's it going to be in Brisbane? You question without notice. You probably don't know.
No idea.
But at least it's a nighttime game there, so the heat would have gone down, and you aren't not playing in the sunshine, which can be quite draining.
So just having a look at Port's Talls and what they did well in their semi-final. They changed game plans really quickly, played a more aggressive style, just forward chain, bit of a just let loose game style, which can work one of two ways. When you're in that position, you can either get back and win the game, or you can get incredibly heavily scored against. Generally, they're more of a possession and use their tools, similar to us a little bit. But they can work through the chains. Just speaking of their tools, they've got 2 gun key forwards in Gemma Houghton and Ash Saint. And last week, Gemma Houghton looked like she was going to score every time they got the ball near her. And Ash Saint, who was formerly Ash Woodland at the Adelaide Crows, another very, very good player. So they'll be dangerous. Ruckman Schultz, whenever they concede a behind, they always go to her on the back 50. They always look at her to get out kick. So it's imperative that our 2 rucks, who are both in great form, can bring that to ground at worst.
Yes, I think they're a get the ball forward quickly kick style. I don't think they've got the skill level of, certainly not of us, but even probably only par at best with the rest of the comp with the handball, getting it from inside to outside the contest. I think they're more a hurry kick forward, but they do have dangerous tall forwards.
And
that Woodland has kicked bags on us when she was playing for Adelaide, in obviously a good team for Adelaide.
They've got Tess Teagle's sister. Oh, his cousin, I think it is. Sorry, his cousin.
Yes, and she can be dangerous as well. I think she's a taller
she is.
player. So we have our one knock on our back line is they're a bit height deficient. We've really only got the 2, Ferguson and Libby Birch.
But the biggest thing is we should be smashing them out of the middle.
Yes. We're a better team.
Without coming in too overconfident, we're at least a tier above them.
Oh, at least.
And with the way we've played this year, like you mentioned, it should be 5 goals minimum.
I'm thinking 5 or 6 goals. I mean, and that's with us probably taking our foot off the pedal in the last quarter and protecting a few of our more important players.
The big question is, going in as overwhelming favourites, I think that adds an extra layer of pressure.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's going to be a massive fail if we lose. A massive fail. And, on a fantastic season, one game can really ruin your season.
Because preliminary finals, you go in like the following game. Like either of those teams can realistically win that, and
yeah.
But this game, I mean, the pressure is all on us. Port Adelaide got nothing to lose. I mean, they've done well to get to where they are. Yeah. They'll throw everything they can, and we are expected to win and win handsomely. So
yes, I think it would have been a tougher matchup if we'd have played Hawthorn, because Hawthorn exposed them with Hawthorn's running gun game, and we've got a really good running gun game. So, balls in our court, we should win.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And look for the Stars to lead the way as usual with Jazzy Garner and Ash Riddell in the middle. And I don't think their backline's that tall either. So if we can get it in quick.
Our tall forwards and our small forwards, we just got such a dangerous forward line, such a deep midfield, such a well-organised machine behind the ball. There's a whole team defensively, led by obviously the back line, but we set up, we get Carney back to really provide that leadership and the bit of the white line fever going on. There'll be you'll be come with me, girls. We're going to the promised land on my back with her and a few of the others, or a lot of the others.
One thing the girls have done really well is having the ability to switch on game day. Like they seem like they enjoy themselves, enjoy each other's company off field.
Yep.
But you can't question at any point this year that they've sort of believed their own hype and switched off, I don't think.
No.
And another aspect is we do get up the ground very high and push back so we can beat them over the back. We've done that to a lot of teams this year with the likes of Sheila Randall, Alice O'Loughlin.
Yep.
And keep an eye this week. I'm calling it, right? So obviously we know the Stars are going to dominate, but just keep an eye on Big Game Bella. I reckon another big game, she'll kick 2+. There you go. There's my prediction for you.
Yeah, well, I'll name Tess Craven as one of the lesser lights, not the big 4 or 5 stars who will have a good game.
Speaking of stars, I don't think we've actually brought it up on the pod yet, but massive congratulations to the 4 girls who were named in the All-Australian squad too, those being Jazz Garner, Ash Riddell, Alice O'Loughlin and Sarah Wright, which was great reward for Righty.
Yep.
And really pleasing to see someone from our back 6 recognised.
Yes, because they're very even back there, and they play as a system, as a machine, and to get recognised was really good.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point because they all do their job so well. We're not like other sides further down the ladder. You might be reliant on that one player, whereas all our girls are so even down there and do a role so well that that's why only one's been recognised. And we were both probably thinking that none of them might get in.
Yeah, I was. Yes, I thought that might be the case, just because they're all so even and play so well together. But yeah, it's really good that Sarah's been recognised. She's had a career best year for mine, and I've watched it from whenever we first got a team, as have you. I think this has been her best year, and part of that's because of Libby Birch, and she's been released to a different role, and with Emma Carney not playing, she's been able to play that more aggressive run-off role, get loose, and be more aggressive coming off her player and intercepting.
So for the listeners who this might be your first year watching the Roos AFLW, Birch obviously joined in the off-season. Sarah Wright was quite often playing on the second tall with Jazz Ferguson, and she was giving away a lot of height and absolutely trying her guts out, but just found out sometimes with that height discrepancy. But yeah, a massively improved year for her now that she can play on someone more suitable height-wise, and we're seeing the reward of getting Birch is paying off with the whole back 6.
Yes. Yeah, able to use her ability to read the play and intercept. So yeah, I think the girls by 6 goals.
Another one I've got here just to keep an eye on. I know I've already got one, but Talia Randall hasn't had a game where she's broken it open and kicked 4+. So with her deep one-on-one, her marking ability, that's worth keeping an eye on too, I think.
Yes, and it's not quite time for Vicky Wall. If we win this week, I've got a big look out for Vicky Wall and what she can do in the grand final to really
smash someone. You reckon?
Smash someone, but not in the prelim because you want to play the next week.
Yeah, well, I think if we get to a position where we're ahead enough, just put her on the bench because she's only got one speed, and that is flat
and
out.
She's been really good. Low possession but high impact with the defensive pressure, and when she gets the ball, she thumps at 50 metres.
And just another gentle reminder to Alice not to just drop the ball after a free kick's been paid, because it's happened twice.
Twice we've seen it
in the last probably 3 games.
Yes.
And
no silly 50s, girls. Know the rules, and just we're a lot better. The only thing that can really beat us is ourselves, I think. And you don't want to give the men and women in white yellow, whatever colour they're going to wear, any chance to influence the game.
No, exactly. But a really exciting day for the club with the chance to get into back-to-back grand finals. I'll throw to you now to give a prediction, a margin. How much do the Roos get it done by? Because I'm assuming you're tipping the Roos to get the job done.
Absolutely. Very confidently, but not overconfidently, because you never know in a two-horse race. But if we don't win, I'll be down. 36 points, I think we'll just cruise to an early lead at half-time and then probably just, match them or, just shut it down a bit.
Yeah, I'm also going north by, I'm going to say 33, I think.
Yep.
That's the sort of margin. A bigger ground as well.
Yeah, we can shut it down as you can. Yeah, I think if we get that 5-goal lead, we can just be happy with that and play good, solid, no-risk football where we can't get hurt out the back or, get 2 goals kicked against us.
I think that's a great point, actually, and raises this point for me, is that we saw against Adelaide how easy it is with a well set up defence to get repeat inside 50s. I think we had 18-1 one quarter, and they actually flipped it the quarter before, and we couldn't get the ball out. Yeah. So, without disrespecting the opposition, they're not Adelaide. So if we could do that to Adelaide, I mean, the ball should, for the majority, be living in our forward half, and really difficult for Port to transition.
And their ruckman, big Schultze, she'll probably get first hands to the ball, but we've got a better midfield. So as long as she can't be elite with her taps, and if we can sharpen them or at least be one-on-one with them, just repeat stoppage, we'll finally get our chance, and then we're away.
Just one last one on Port. They've got a half-back by the name of Brooksby, who was really impressive. She's only 19, but one of their lead users outside coming out from their back 50, so might need to get the clamps on her. She was starting a lot of their transition against Hawthorn when they made that comeback in the second half. So just another one I'm not saying we have to go the full negating role, but just I reckon Croc and his team will just be monitoring her impact off half-back.
Yeah, I think it's just like a lot of finals. It comes down to pressure and who brings it the best and who handles it the best, and I think we can bring it and handle it better than they can. I noticed against Hawthorn, they were very fumbly when the heat came on, as a lot of teams can, especially, as we said, they're not a first-tier team like we are. So
no, and then you know what happened?
They can be fumbly with inferred pressure, can't they?
Yes.
Like when you think you're going to get hit. When you think Vicky Wall's coming at you and you start dropping chest marks.
I would be too.
Yeah, well, you're only human, yes. A lot of people would, but I think that's an advantage for us, being able to bring it and handle it better than they can. But we need to do that.
And do you know when that pressure started dropping? When the happy Hawks were thinking about taking selfies after the game and what sort of skibbity-dibbity dance they were going to do.
What time they're playing next week in the prelim.
Yeah, that's still magnificent to see.
Ken Hinkley must have said, don't worry about next week. Yeah. Girls, just like the boys program.
Oh, yeah. They got owned by Port both times, semi-finals. How funny. But, yes, for everyone going, enjoy the day, and hopefully there's some respite in the shade. Because that's another thing. It's going to be hard for supporters.
There are grandstands there, though, so I assume there's some shade there to be found. Get there early and get the shady spot. But,
cheer on the girls. Enjoy the day. And hopefully we're back to recap a great win and a spot in the grand final. And before we go, what's your prediction for the other preliminary final? Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, well, I think Brisbane, only because it's their home ground. And I think I'd prefer to play Brisbane the following week. Not that we're getting ahead of ourselves, of course, but if we do win, and we'll know because we're the first game, I think I'd prefer Brisbane. They're both good sides. And I know you'll say, well, we've already beaten Adelaide twice, but it wasn't convincing. It wasn't 6-goal wins. It was less than 10 points both times. So
I will argue with you because we've beaten Brisbane once ever. And we caught them off guard round one. They were a bit happy with themselves. And they're a well-drilled unit.
They are.
Starcevic.
They're both well coached.
They worry me. Well, Adelaide...
Oh, they both worry me. Don't worry, they both worry me.
I think Brisbane have got the better list.
But we flogged Brisbane. You can say we caught them off guard. Well, they can't be off guard for 4 quarters. And we won every quarter from memory. Did we? I'm pretty sure we won every quarter.
Yeah, I'll be very worried if we're playing Brisbane.
I'll be worried no matter who we play.
Well, that's a valid point. But we might wrap it up there. Just a quick little preview for tomorrow's big clash and get along to support the girls, as I said. And yeah, hopefully we come away with a big win.
Yes, and then we look forward to an anxious week, waiting for hopefully some silverware.
Yes.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. 1 week at a time, Dennis.
Yes, he'd be fuming at the
Yes,
moment.
if you wouldn't be happy with that, you just concentrate one quarter at a time, one play at a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure the girls can get it done. Goodbye from me. Can the Kangas.
See you soon, guys. Hopefully we get the win and book our spot in the granny. Until then, go Roos!
Good old North Melbourne, the champions you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.